We had a great session yesterday. I really enjoyed the panel. Good presentations this morning. Who here is an Ether holder? A few of you? How about Bitcoin? Any Bitcoin holders? All right, me too. I own both. I've been holding Ether for a long time. Invested in a bunch of companies that did their token offering. And it wouldn't be great if somebody actually paid us interest while we're holding our Ether or Bitcoin, right? Kind of like what the bank's supposed to do, but like 5 or 7%. That's what Celsius does. Celsius actually pays you while you are holding your Ether or Bitcoin. So let's talk a little bit about history, right? So we all know about the printing press and about the Industrial Revolution. And then came this internet thing, which was supposed to equalize everything and give everybody equal opportunity, right? And what do we get instead of it? We got monopolies. We got Google and Microsoft and all these other companies, Amazon and so on, right? We didn't get what we were supposed to get. So, you know, the blockchain is promising a new revolution, and we are big believers, I'm sure you are as well, that this time it's really going to happen. It didn't happen with, I was there, I've seen this movie, 1994, believe me. I was 5 years old when I wrote that patent. No, just kidding. But, you know, I was 25 years old. And today over 1 billion people use this protocol every day. So the opportunity is really to reinvent everything on the blockchain, right? At least that's what people are telling us. But most applications don't require a blockchain. I would say 99 out of 100 applications that you hear about, if you rip out the blockchain, nothing happens. They still keep running, right? So the test for me as an investor, right, if you really need a blockchain is, if I take out your blockchain, can you still provide the service? If the answer is no, then you really need the blockchain. So to provide credit on a distributed ledger, you need a blockchain, right? And basically we're doing peer-to-peer credit, which enables a lender on one side. Our lenders are the people that hold Ethereum or Bitcoin coins to issue through us credit to other people, other peers who are members in this organization, the Celsius organization. And we effectively are the guys responsible to effect the transaction, collect the transaction, and pay the interest to the holders of the coins. So if you look at what happened to credit card usage after the internet came to be around 95 or 96, it exploded, right? Now you have $2.5 trillion worth of transactions a year on all the major credit cards, if you put all of that together, right? And it's mostly driven, all the growth is driven by usage online, right? If you take out the usage online, it will be a flat line. And what the blockchain is promising is really an opportunity to do the same thing, eliminate all the intermediaries, the Visas, the MasterCards, and reinvent that. But to do that, we need to do a few more things, right? We need to build some infrastructure. So let's look at the size of the credit market. This is consumer. I'm just talking about consumer credit. So if you're looking at the major markets, it's a multi-trillion-dollar market today, right? So everybody here has a credit card, right? Who here does not have a credit card? Probably most of us have 3 or 4 credit cards in our pockets, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's ability to go and get consumer credit. The problem is that the millennials, the new generation, the Gen X and the millennials actually don't have access to credit. If you look at the stats, 2/3 of them have less than 620 credit score, which basically gives you almost zero credit, a few $100s at best. And 33% of them do not have any credit score whatsoever. So that presents a real problem. And the Gen X's don't want to even go to the bank. They don't even know that the bank branch exists, right? They want to go straight into crypto. So what we do is we bridge those two worlds, right? We enable guys like you in the room to get some interest, and we enable the millennials and the Gen X's to get access to credit. So again, we're creating a new digital credit score on the blockchain. So we can, if you already have an off-chain information, we can bring it in, give you a score, and move you to the blockchain. We insure the transactions. So if you're a lender, we spread your risk between thousands of different borrowers. If one of them doesn't pay, we cover that for you. That's why we provide the insurance. And then we provide peer-to-peer marketplace. We enable those transactions to be available. So all of this is done with members of the Ethereum community. So we're not doing all of this ourselves. You saw some names, Civic, Uport, these people like that. I'm also inviting anyone in the room here who thinks you could provide any of the pieces here on the circle to partner with us to complete this, because really for this whole industry to be successful, us trading coins with each other, sending you a coin, receiving a coin, and the price go up, the price goes down, none of us are going to be successful if the community stays the size it is today. For this to be successful, we need to move from the existing 8 million or so Ethereum holders. Originally it was about 10,000. Currently it's 8 million. And that's what drove the price from a few pennies to $400. But you want the price to go to $4,000, you need the next 100 million people. Where are they going to come from? They're not going to come from buying real estate. They're not going to come from selling diamonds or blockchain on this or blockchain on that. Okay? Those applications are just not big enough. And frankly, the millennials I was just talking about that don't have credit are not going to buy any of these things. So if you want the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin to continue going up, your application better bring the next 100 million users. So I just showed you a vertical that has close to 2 billion people around the world in that class. They're all dying to get access to the middle class. How do they get there? They have to get there through credit. They cannot do it by having to prepay everything, which is the way you move transactions today on Bitcoin or on the blockchain on the Ethereum, right? So, and beyond that, right, how do you go to 1 billion people? And a whole billion people, a seventh of the population, join the blockchain, right? So there's a lot of infrastructure issues that need to be resolved, and that's what we're working on. We're writing the protocols that are necessary to build all of that. So let's go back and look at what happens today. You have a bank account. You're lucky if the bank gives you 1%, right? So any one of you, let's take this guy right here. You have a bank account? Good. So when you make a deposit to the bank, I'll be the bank. I'll be the bad guy, right? I take your money and I loan it to the guy next to you. I give you 1%. I charge him 28%. Who makes all the money? Right? The bank does. I get to keep everything, right? So why can't you get 7%, for example? I'll pay you 7% of the depositor, and I'll charge my client here 17%, right? It's a win-win for both sides. The only party that loses here is the bank. And that's what we're effectively enabling. We're enabling a higher interest rate for the lender and a lower interest rate for the borrower. You can achieve those two and still provide access. So another way of looking at it, this is your bank account. I'm sure your bank doesn't send you a statement that looks like this, right? You start, you get a paycheck, your balance goes up, and as the month goes in, you get down to zero. If you're like my family, you go negative, right? You go into the red zone because you start using your credit cards like crazy just to pay for bills, right? Well, you get nothing for your deposit when you have a positive balance, but yet you're being charged 28% when you charge your credit card. So why can't we have a bank account that pays you when you have a positive balance? You don't have to do anything. You have a positive balance in Ether, you get paid. When you have a negative balance, which is your credit line with us, you pay that interest rate, you're only paying the difference. You don't use it, you get paid the positive and so on. So I'm running out of time, so I'm going to skip a few slides here. I only got 10 minutes, So the conclusion is we're extending peer-to-peer credit to the middle class. We're empowering the Ethereum ecosystem. And we have a way to actually grow Ethereum to over 100 million users. And everybody wins. So this is my money shot, right? Money slide. E equals MC squared. Do you know what that stands for? I wanted to put everything I just described to you in a formula, and that's the easiest formula I could come up with. You know, since I'm sure there's physicists here somewhere. Okay, E for Ethereum, M for members, C for Celsius credit, right? E equals MC squared. Thank you very much.